Truth on the street. Platinum lines heavily laced with these platinum beats. Delivery gangster with the power to teach. Like a doomsday prophet when I start to preach. Open your mind and I'll touch your soul. Platinum back gorilla with a heart of gold. Hand pick initiated, platinum back gorilla. I used to run the streets like the average nigga. A natural born killer like Dre and Ice Cube. Little wild motherfucker breaking society's rules. The tools I used was these lefts and rights. Turn parties about the rules every Friday night. But then I learned to write. I educated my mind, converted these prophecies to some hard-ass rhymes. Read the signs, come warning the fire and brimstone. Studying secrets, still keeping the chrome. Ready for combat in the midst of war. Good against evil, trying to even the score where these demons be seeking the upper hand. Snatching souls of black folks, women and men. Struggling in a world to raise these niggas and give them military minds and call them gorillas. From nigga to gorilla. That's how I do. That's how I do. They call my speech the raw truth on the streets. Platinum lines heavily laced with these platinum beats. Delivery gangster with the power to teach. Like a doomsday prophet when I start to preach. Open your mind and I'll touch your soul. Platinum back gorilla with a heart of gold. From nigga to gorilla, avoid the destruction. We lose black life for a little bit of nut. Make something of your life in this world of sin. No matter how bad it gets, shit come to an end. My friend. If I call you nigga, that means you still a slave, a blind motherfucker in search of an early grave. These streets is paved with rich African blood, milk from slaves that was America's crutch. While these rotten ass sluts prostitute the truth, they only promote the corrupted to speak from the booth. From nigga to gorilla. That's how we get down. From nigga to gorilla. Transformation is what it's all about. It's about moving from being a victim to standing on your own, in your own power with motherfuckers that feel just like you. You don't submit your will to nobody. You either agree or you disagree. If you agree, you stand on that. If you disagree, you stand on that too. You know? You don't supposed to agree with everything that everybody bring to you, or else you would be a sorry mock. So yeah, my Zell scapegoats was actually correct on that. So I'm just like I got this one tagged with them sisters walking down to the ocean to wade in the water. There's a song, wade in the water, wade in the water, people wade. The old gospel song, that's what it's talking about. It's African in origin. There is a particular body of water that you need in 10-year increments. And you need at least 2 centenarians, women, to do it. You start at a girl under the age of 10, one between 10 and 20, all the way up to 120 years of age. So you're going to end up with 12 women. And they gotta, all of them gotta come together, and they have to be in a particular place in South Africa. And when they get there, there's a particular body of water. It's called the Yoni of the Earth. It's the vagina of Mother Earth. And all 12 of these women have to do daily rituals until all women involved have that menstruate, has had a cycle in the water. And so I guess it's in the modern world, women hit menopause around 40. So that's like maybe 5 women that will have to go through the duration of their cycle. But the kicker is they're gonna all sink anyway. They all come on their cycle at the same time. But they all have to wade from the elder to the junior that haven't reached puberty yet, have to wade waist deep or deeper in the water. And they have to, you know, do this several times a day as a cleansing measure for the women that's menstruate. But they actually, what they're doing is from the menstrual cycle They are feeding the womb of Mother Earth life. They feeding the womb of Mother Earth life, and this is going to start to heal the deserts. And it's going to start to make it rain in dry places, and it's going to start to make forests return. Because Earth is losing her fertility because the women who used to perform the rite have all been annihilated by the oppressor. And all of the priests who you teach the rite, it's only one left. And I can't say who it is because they'll kill him. But there's one that know how to teach this rite because he know the history. And I have to have a high priestess request his assistance. I can't do it. Right? I can't ask him because of my gender. It has to be orchestrated by a high priestess. There's a lot of them around. And here's the kicker. Who write? Christians, pagans, Jews, Muslims, Buddhists. They all write. All of them. But they're not all the way right. They all have some of the puzzle. And they all have some correct information. But no single source is going to give you all of the information you need to ascend. No single source. And we draw the parts that we're supposed to use from where they are. It's all there for a reason. Sahara used to be a plush forest. But they blew that collider up in the Mediterranean, and we had to cover in the crater by rerouting the Nile. Then they're going to tell you that the Nile gradually shifted from draining into the Sahara over thousands of years flow. Bullshit. You can use NASA's satellite imagery to see the damming work done to reroute the Nile. It's visible from the sky. It was such a huge project. Then the motherfucking Mediterranean started to leak into the underworld, or the people on the inner earth. Shambhala, Gartha. When it started to leak, what was the remedy? Blow Pompeii. Blow that motherfucking volcano. Let the lava seal the hole. Now y'all know. Pompeii was blown to patch a hole in the bottom of the Mediterranean that was leaking onto the inner earth. Only option was blow Pompeii or drown out the inner earth. So they blew Pompeii. Well, what about the people? They didn't give much of a fuck about the people as you do your German Shepherd. The people responsible for all this dirt see humans as less valuable than your dog, as less valuable than a rodent. The only use for a human is to perform manual labor. That's all they see you for, is a tool to get work done. You have no rights in their mind or their heart. You are not what they are, therefore you should not reap the benefit that they reap. And so when they blew Pompeii, those were the Johnny-come-lately humans anyway. They were Greeks. And the Greeks already knew, so they got all of what they call their elect members out before Pompeii blew. So they only left regular people like us that's on social media talking about the problems of the world, while you have other people out there undermining the world. So we sitting here discussing the matter. We armchair revolutionarying right now, like all the more conscious Negroes. We doing the same shit they doing. The only difference is I just came out. I just started this journey. They've been doing this shit for 10 years, and they found out it ain't gonna take me no 10 years to clean this shit up. You motherfuckers take 10 years to clean up some 3 days worth of shit. It don't take 3 days to clean this shit up. They got to be spaced out because you have to do them There's 3 things that need to be done. Soon as these 3 things is done, everybody stop and say, wait a minute, that's a bad motherfucker. Whatever he want, he gonna fix some shit, give it to him. So we allow a lot of shit to go on this planet that's over with now. As soon as y'all get your head out your ass and stop allowing these conscious motherfuckers to mislead you. The worst motherfuckers right now is the ones they call conscious. The second worst motherfuckers behind them is the one they call religious. The third worst motherfucker behind them is the ones they call educated. Your professors, your PhDs, your master's degrees. Them motherfuckers. Them the 3 worst groups of motherfuckers in this. Worse than the politicians. We already know politicians ain't shit. Ain't nothing but some motherfucking puppets to be bought and sold on the open market. No, Pompeii was the city in Greece where a volcano blew and it covered everything in volcanic ash. But the reason that it wasn't a natural volcanic eruption. It was manufactured with science. The volcanic eruption was done by placing an explosive near the core of the lava bed. And the explosive being at the core of the lava bed, eventually the lava bed was executed in 2018 living under the Vatican. I now came back to personally execute her. I wanted to do it, but shit. Anyway, the Great Wall was built to fight them and harness them into a ravine that we could fight them off. When we started killing them, they started being born looking like melanated humans. The only problem was is that they couldn't and still can't breed with us if they wanted them. They can't have children with us. They can only have babies with each other. And they chromosomes is backwards to ours. And they females look male and they males look female. That's why he done it, because he wanted to usurp the throne. And if you even look at the word usurp, it means to go under something. And if you look under the Vatican, it's a whole, what they call throne room to so-called the dragon bitch, the great archon. That's what they talking about. When they talk about the archons, they talking about the ones he opened the portal to allow in. When you look in the Emerald Tablets of Thoth, he called them the Dark Brothers that he got rid of once, but somebody opened the portal and let him back in. And that he would come back in a distant age in order to get rid of them. Well, this is a distant age, and they getting the fuck out of here. And I don't care where they go, but they can't stay here.
So they can't stay here, huh?
No.
So I was reading some of the comments. Can you explain the difference between the Adamites and the Atumites?
Phonetics. The Adama is where the Adamites come from. And they talk about those who was organic from the earth. Atum was the father of Adam, which is a whole species of what we call Hindus. That's a whole nother bloodline on earth.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So we right now everybody's waiting on Baba to come home so that Pops could actually get us back in tune with the things that we need to be actually doing, which a lot of us like such as brothers like yourself and Rod Hayes, the fourth elder, Brother Love, my mentor, are already doing. What do you want to tell the people that out there that's wondering or confused, what do you think that we can expect, if you can elaborate on that, when the master teacher actually gets back?
We already told y'all. All of the ones that's frauds is going to be put on the spot for their fraud. All of the ones that's thieves is going to be put on the spot for their theft. Look, there's a lot of people that's not people that look like people. Everything that look human ain't human.
Oh, I already know.
And a lot of these things that look like us ain't us. They are infiltrated at every level of our societies. We know who they all is now, but it took us a long time to know who they are, what they did. Right? We didn't used to take on human form. That's why the human bones only go back so far in the fossil record. We used to incarnate and disincarnate, going up and down the ascension ladder, and we would come to Earth to experience a 3D polarized reality. And then we would ascend back up, and then we would come back down. There was no such thing as death. Right? We didn't know what death was. Death is a construct created in order to instill fear in us. All it is they collapsed the fourth dimension into the third dimension when we incarnated to get them off the planet, to trap us on the planet. So it was all science. And the science was used in conjunction with conjure in order to trap us in Kingu, the sleep state, or the Kali Yuga, which was artificially induced by one of Enlil's sons, who they call Zuin or Humbaba, who stole the scrolls of destiny, who manifested as Alexander, who went into India to get the scroll of governments to rule the earth.
Right, I remember that, because one of the things when I was younger, I used to ask my mother about why was that one of my attributes, and she always referred me to the story of them sending the Nordica to go to Zuin to fight the war to get the Tablet of Destinies back and bring it back to the Anunnaki. And the Nordica was considered to be the warrior and the brave one that actually performed attacks or went on the assignment.
Mm-hmm. So we was all dispatched to different parts of the planet. The elders. And when the elders was dispatched to different parts of the planet, everybody had to find a piece of the puzzle to put this shit back together at the close of the age. And here we are putting this puzzle together.
Right. Reliving it. So another question in here is, explain vibration and frequency and the difference and its importance. I think you already went over the importance, but I guess this is a definition question. The definition of frequency and the definition of vibration, and how we should interpret those words.
Okay, so frequency is predicated upon points of peaked vibration or sound. It's like a oscillation. Every peak, the level of peaks determines the frequency, which when you trace the word frequency back is how frequent or often, or it's a consistent rate of oscillation. That's the frequency. The vibration is the thing which has the frequency. And the vibration is the movement of the energy. So you measuring the energy by its frequency, and then by knowing the frequency, you know what the vibration is, or the rate in which this energy comes into 3D reality. It's like measuring brain waves. They all got a different frequency, and they all on a different, so it's like a radio. You got a whole bunch of radio stations, and you can change the dial to a different frequency in order to get a different channel. Every frequency has a different channel, and there's a different broadcast coming on every channel. So when we're talking about vibrations and frequencies, we're talking about sound. It got to be a sound at its root. And the sound is a audio rendition of light. So if you notice certain lasers, when they turn them on, they hiss. Right? That's the sound. That's where they coming in at. That hiss is telling you where the sound is coming from in frequency and point of origin.
Okay, that's correct. So how does that relate to resonant energy?
Okay, so now go back to the radio. You're not going to get the same channels in Chicago that you pick up in Miami. The resonant frequency is the frequency from a specific area, right? It can only, the sound wave can only rise from this area. It becomes a resonant frequency, or a resident frequency is a better way to look at it.
Why is that?
Because it's only in a certain, it only has a certain reach. And it's just like when you're in a residence, you only live in a certain place.
Right.
So you got an address. When you have a resonant frequency, the resonant is the residence of the frequency, tell you where it comes from. It's like the address.
So some people was reaching out to me. I guess they've been reading certain books that was dealing with the electron. And I'm pretty dope on the comprehension about the electron. But what they were saying was that they consider the electron God.
They can consider whatever they want to consider as God. That's their option as a free will, in a free will universe. But the electron is only part of an atom. You can't have a positive charge without a negative charge and vice versa. But you can have a neutral charge with both of them.
That is correct. So I was speaking with a sister, and I was trying to give her the understanding similar to you as far as vibration and frequency, and that the phenomena that humans call sound is more accurately described as vibration or movement. And since there is vibration and movement on all scales, from the microcosmic and subatomic to the macroscopic and universal, that there is indeed sound on all scales as well. Just as there is visible light spectrum of electron movement that we can see, there is also audible sound spectrum of movement of vibrations that we can hear. And I was explaining that.
Well, you got to look at, when you get to the atom, you take the electron and you got a string of light that's curled up in the ball. They call that the string theory in science.
Right. I'm familiarized with that.
Okay, now, if you stretch the string of light out, the less condensed it is, the different frequency it's going to put out. It's going to change it. The Higgs boson is light